Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. And first off, coming in here, if you do enjoy my videos, all types of categories, I do dance, I do cooking videos, food videos, travel videos, along with these where I talk about just the stock market, crypto, and really my own thoughts and opinions. It's never financial advice. Do your own DD, entertainment purposes only. If you enjoy these videos and you like to keep them coming, please make sure to just subscribe. Absolutely free to do so, and ring that notification bell if you like to know whenever my videos begin. Always smash that like button and let's get started. Also, do check out the links down in the description below if you'd like to DM me on any of my paid platforms. I will always respond back to you there, most likely within 24 hours. But otherwise, I try my best to respond to everybody just on, X, Twitter, Instagram, and all my other platforms. If you want to get some free stocks from Robinhood by joining, if you don't already have one, even though like pretty much every single person I know already has one, you can use my link pinned to the top of the stream, and that way you can get a free stock and I can get one too. So thanks to all of you guys that have already done so and smash the like button. Today, absolutely crazy that I thought because, okay, March 13 today, it's and I think I'm pronouncing it right finally because I was saying Dencun, but it's Dencun, like raccoon. Dencun. Dencun upgrade Ethereum has already happened, which is supposed to mean, and again, not that smart about this, um, that it's more accessible and it's cheaper for layer two payments. We're going to listen to a video together, and then there's a guy who explains it so well that I think I've never heard a better explanation of like what is the entire point of this. But it's already happened. And I actually thought that today we would see a run up from Ethereum, if anything, but that didn't happen. It's more of a run up for Bitcoin last night, like literally around like 12 a.m. PST, which was it's already been, I guess, in the AM for March 13. But yeah, it was a run up for Bitcoin instead, and Bitcoin hit a new all-time high again, I think like more than 17, 18 hours ago or something, for 73,600-ish. Let's just see where it's at right now. Let's go on the coin market cap. But I have a couple things I do also want to point out about this whole crypto situation. Not trying to be a bear, but just pointing out some facts. Global crypto market cap right now is at 2.76 trillion, which sounds like really impressive, I know. But even with Bitcoin, right? Even with Bitcoin being at a new all-time high this year, beating out what it was in 2021 of November. And 2021 of November at the time was like overall crypto, I would say that was at the height of all like euphoria, right? Like people were, by the way, I never watched that TV show Euphoria. I really wanted to watch it. But anyways, at that time, literally every single person I knew was trying to get into crypto, right? Like in 2021 period, but different pockets of people for different moments, because you had like the Shiba Inu people, the Dogecoin people. That was more the beginning of the year. Shiba Inu came through like October of 2021. Dogecoin was more like hyping from January all the way down to May, and then it just started plummeting. And then you had your like Ethereum and Bitcoin people kind of hyping it up between October and November of 2021. And then it just kind of went downhill. But around that time, I remember just watching CoinMarketCap like a hawk. And I remember it was, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, we were at 3 trillion. I don't think we ever went to 3.5 trillion even, but the overall global crypto market cap, all the money that was in crypto at the time on CoinMarketCap, you could see was around 3 trillion. So it's still kind of funny to me that we are only at 2.76 trillion, which kind of is good and kind of scares me, because the good part about it is, okay, the people who believe that BTC is going to go up 2x within 18 days from its first all-time high of the year, right? Its newest all-time high, usually supposedly after between 3 out of 4 times, supposedly Bitcoin had 2x'd, right? So if it was 69,000 and it crossed that, let's just say it's 70,000, it's supposed to 2x to 140,000. And when I say supposed to, it just means the people who are reading into the history of it, 3 out of 4 times it did 2x within 18 days of hitting its all-time high. So if you want to think about it like that, you could be like, oh, okay, it's only at 2.76 trillion because it's not even close to its 2x that it's supposed to reach. So I think that would be the bullish view about it, right? And I could believe that. And then the bearish view, because I think you definitely have to look at everything. I think the bearish view would be like, oh, it kind of sucks that we couldn't even get the $3 trillion back into the market. It's like you have to wonder where that other 0.3 trillion went. Is it in bonds right now? Is it in real estate? Are people just hodling on the side? Is it cash? Because obviously we know you can pretty much get 5% right now. Even in Robinhood right now, by the way, if you just have cash sitting in your account, you are insured for that. And you also can get 5%. I think it's actually 5.2% in the beginning, but then you get 5% because that's the rate right now until the Fed decides to cut the rate, which God knows when that will actually happen, because obviously CPI data just came out and it was yesterday. And that was really hot, meaning we still have more inflation than honestly the Fed would like. And therefore now you have all these economists saying, oh my God, they say they're going to cut like 3 times this year, but we don't know when they're going to start. And now people are kind of pushing back when they think that would occur. A lot of people already think that it's going to be July, but now we have people thinking, okay, like what if it doesn't even happen? What if they like completely change course? Because obviously we know they do this flip-flop thing where they say one thing and then, one moment it's transitory, inflation's transitory, and then all of a sudden it's not. So really the Fed can say anything, and they're the ones pulling the levers, and they have to say certain things to get the market to work in a certain way. But anywho, it's kind of interesting right now where you have two sides, and that's kind of what I wanted to point out before actually looking at how much the price of everything is. I just think it's interesting to look at the overall global crypto market cap versus 2021, and then thinking about relating all of that to the fact that Bitcoin supposedly hit its new all-time high, but not all of that money is back. And then you could also argue, okay, well, Bitcoin's at a new all-time high, but a lot of the money didn't come back because maybe people learned about not YOLOing their entire life savings into a meme coin, right? Maybe those people are smarter now and they have their money somewhere else. Anything could be, but I wanted to say that. And then also, this is not my opinion. I heard this from some other like finance YouTuber or crypto YouTuber back in like 2021, and I never really forgot it. So I forgot who said this specifically, but I remember hearing about this one way, like this one metric of like reading the coin market cap, where if you see USDT at number 3 or USDT above, for example, BNB, obviously the Binance coin or token or whatever, the BNB, which I never had, but BNB, if it is below USDT, that is one way of sort of assuming that we're not in the most bullish market yet. Besides the fact that right now, if you look at the fear and greed index, like I'm looking at, it's 91 extreme greed. And I do feel like people around me are greedier. But why I say I don't feel like we're in this like euphoria, crazy moment where people are like YOLOing everything into it is also because USDT, in my opinion, should go below BNB when it's crazy hyped up, because people are going to put it into BNB. People are going to be using this large exchange internationally, right? So that's, in another sense, to me, is why I don't think crypto is at that top moment yet, which is kind of good. I'd prefer that we are not at the top, because I'd like to believe that 2025 is actually when we're headed for the all-time high, and when we would maybe see Bitcoin at a new all-time high in possibly 2025. I'm not saying that I don't think Bitcoin could reach 2x, meaning $140,000, or let's just honestly hope if it could even reach $120,000 before the end of this year. But I'm not saying that within 18 days it cannot. I just hope that we see a new all-time high headed towards 2025, because that should be the actual 4-year cycle. Right? We're actually just 3 years away from 2021. We're not actually fully even 3 years away from November 2021 yet, right? So if it's a 4-year cycle, it should technically be 2021 plus 4 years, which is 2025, for Bitcoin to reach the all-time high. If this cycle thing works out perfectly, beautifully, which I don't think it really will. By the way, hi guys, all of you guys, thank you so much for those of you guys that are currently in the stream. We got 23 of you. It'd be really lovely if you could give it a thumbs up. For those of you guys that have not tapped the like button yet, highly appreciate you for it. Okay, let's look at the price of Bitcoin right now after reaching all-time high like last night. Bitcoin is currently at $72,816. Again, congratulations to all of you hodlers. I think I saw a Kathy Wood video recently where they were talking about how Bitcoin majority of those that are in Bitcoin, I think, and again, always do your own DD. My videos could have flaws. I could remember stuff falsely. But from my memory, I remember her saying something close to like how there's 19 million Bitcoins out there right now. And out of those, not assuming for the ones that are lost and people forgot their like their 21 C keys or whatever. Or is it 24 C keys? 24 or 21? I forgot. But I don't have any Bitcoins. But for Bitcoin, I think she said around 15 of those 19 million are long-term hodlers. So they're not selling. But by that calculation of long-term hodlers, I think they just have to hold it for like something like 156 days of the year or something like that. Like about or more than 156 days, basically more than half the year. You would have to hold on to Bitcoin to be a long-term hodler, which I don't think that means it's that serious either. Like that doesn't sound like a very, very long relationship in love or, with crypto. But supposedly there's a lot of long-term hodlers that are just not willing to sell. But you can argue two sides of the coin. You could just be like, oh, well, maybe the price isn't high enough for them to want to sell. It doesn't mean they're always going to hold on for the rest of their lives, right? It would be more convincing if they like never sold it for, I don't know, 5 years. To me, that's a long-term hodler. I don't know why there's this calculation of like you're a long-term hodler if you held it for like less than 365 days, right? Like I don't really get who invented that thought process or why people are saying this, because if you held it for an entire cycle, meaning you held it, let's say from 17,000 all the way to 69,000, and you refuse to sell, not because you're just holding the bag and you got left behind, but you absolutely like refuse to sell from 17,000 to 69,000 to now, with yesterday being 73,000. I think that truly means you're a long-term hodler because you really don't care. Like you don't care about the monetary value, right? You don't care about the fiat value of a Bitcoin. You really just care about that one Bitcoin or those 3 Bitcoins or 10 or 100 Bitcoins that you own. I think once people start calculating things by Bitcoin, it's like psychologically, I feel like that is when it's really, really synced into people that this is of value. And when people are still honestly comparing it like, oh, it's 69,000 value, blah, 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 blah. And they've only held it for like 150 days, that could just be a play to get rid of it. And you may not have to believe it at all, right? You're just waiting for it to hit what you believe is the absolute top. So I think, yeah, 5 years to me is more convincing to me that somebody is an actual hodler, which means I'm not even a true Dogecoin hodler or Ethereum. Oh, wait, never mind. I think I reached the stage of being an Ethereum hodler. Held it more than one cycle. But anyways, let's listen to this video. I think I listened like halfway and I got to the point where this guy was kind of explaining Ethereum Dencun upgrade and like the layer 2. Basically, and again, you have to listen to it properly, but he was saying how this is how I'm memorizing it now because it's the easiest way, I think, is the Dencun upgrade basically makes it cheaper for the layer 2s, which layer 2s are small blockchains built upon the Ethereum blockchain. And then the smaller blockchain, basically, whenever they do stuff like you would have to pay Ethereums. And then now it's cheaper to pay Ethereums, the main blockchain, something like that. If I'm wrong, just let me know in the comment section what's an easier, explain to me like I'm 5 years old way of what's happening. Oh, sorry. Fleming, before I start the video, Fleming says, hi, Lucy, what do you think about Congress trying to ban TikTok? So actually, they've been talking about banning it, if you guys remember, since like 2021, right? Right? Like when Trump was in, they were talking about banning TikTok forever. And then now Trump, obviously, we don't know who's actually going to be POTUS later on, but Trump seems to be now more positive about TikTok. If you guys saw my last video, he was basically on the news talking about the fact, I think this is like a day before last, he was saying how he doesn't like Meta. He doesn't like Zuckerbucks. So he thinks that removing TikTok would really be making Meta even more powerful, which he thinks like Meta is like the enemy of the people or whatever. So I think if it just really depends on who is POTUS in 2025, because if let's say Trump is elected, I definitely feel like he would, if anything, keep TikTok even as is instead of like removing it. But right now, the whole talk is not banning it, they're basically giving an ultimatum, right? They're like, either you sell it or we get rid of you. So I hope they make the right choice and just sell it. But Laura knows what will happen. I'm kind of annoyed about this because I have a TikTok that I've been working very hard on. And I finally got myself from literally 200 followers to like 3,000 something followers within 2 months. And now they want to ban it. So that kind of sucks. But anyways, if you want to watch my TikTok videos, I kind of just repost everything, but sometimes I don't post stuff here or I don't post stuff on Reels and Instagram, but then I'll post it on TikTok and vice versa. So if you want to see all my different videos, definitely make sure to follow me on X, where I will try to post more before they maybe get rid of all these other apps that I have. And just look down in the description below for my TikTok, for X, for Instagram, all my many different platforms. And if you would like to see whenever I make my trades, definitely follow me on Patreon, pay subscription, $20 tier. And also my OF, just look down in the description below and you'll be able to find everywhere to see all my videos and chat. So anyways, let's listen to this.
Ethereum launches its latest big upgrade. And Tom Schmidt with the crypto VC firm Dragonfly breaks down how Ethereum's update helps with scalability. Welcome to CNBC's Crypto World. I'm Talia Kaplan. Bitcoin notching yet another all-time high today as investors keep searching for a top to this rally. As of noon Eastern, the cryptocurrency rose by nearly 1.5%, peaking earlier in the morning to that new record, $73,679. At the same time, Ether is ticking just slightly lower following the rollout of its biggest upgrade in nearly a year. And we'll tell you more about that in just a bit. There's also Polygon's Matic token surging this morning by more than 7.5%. Okay, let's talk about the top stories. Coinbase shares are bouncing this morning after the company announced a $1 billion bond offering. In a statement yesterday afternoon, the crypto platform proposed a $1 billion private offering of convertible notes, which is a form of debt that companies can repay by issuing shares to the lender.
So apparently Coinbase was up today, and honestly, some of my thought processes I really look back at and I really judge because I'm like, oh my God, Lucy, you're so stupid. Like, you believe in crypto and yet you didn't buy Coinbase. Like, obviously, especially with FTX failing and then Binance removing CZ as CEO, like all these little things, it really just points towards Coinbase really being the king of like of a platform to trade on, right? Like, I'm using it. So it's really sad to me that I didn't buy Coinbase when it was low. It's ridiculous.
Coinbase said it intends to use the money raised from the offering to repay current debt. Now, following the announcement, the company's stock initially dropped in after-hours trading, but gained 2.8% around mid-Easter. That stock also got an upgrade over at Raymond James today, from underperformed to market performed, as it's made major gains so far this year. Next, shares of Bitcoin miner Core Scientific are in the red this morning after the company released fourth quarter earnings yesterday. The firm reported nearly $142 million in revenue in the last 3 months of 2023, an increase of $20 million from the year before. However, the company reported weakening revenues for the full year. Core brought in more than $502 million in revenue, a drop of around $138 million compared to 2022. Still, Core raked in more than 19,000 Bitcoin last year, 13,762 of which was from self-mining. They say that's more than any other publicly listed miner in North America. That publicly listed bit is important because for much of 2023, Core Scientific wasn't a publicly traded company. It was delisted back in April of last year as it went through bankruptcy, then rejoined the NASDAQ in January once that process was complete. Now, Core has been trading mostly flat since then. Last, Ethereum just took a big step in becoming a faster and cheaper network to use. A widely anticipated technological upgrade dubbed Dencun was activated this morning, aiming to increase Ethereum's efficiency. The move is expected to spark growth on Layer 2 networks by lowering their data fees. Now, the update, which is the protocol's biggest in nearly...
Okay, I guess that's an easier way to explain it than whatever I just explained. She's like, it just lowers the data fees. Anyway,
here is considered crucial in helping tackle Ethereum's notoriously high transaction fees. It could also kickstart a race among Layer 2 networks to jump on the changes in scaling the blockchain. A research report out last week from Fidelity Digital Assets noted that Dencun could mean near zero transaction fees for Layer 2 blockchains, which could attract new users.
I don't get it. So if you do use it, please let me know just how cheap all of a sudden it is. Because I think, like, for example, when I transferred recently a bunch of Shiba Inu to from like Ledger Nano wallet to a hot wallet, it cost about, I want to say, like at least $6 or $11. Honestly, I forgot, but that's like $6 to $11 USD. And again, when I moved over like Dogecoin and XRP, it costed like less than a cent, a couple of cents, like very, very, very cheap. So yeah, I don't know when they say near zero transaction for layer 2, like just how cheap it is, because I don't plan on moving anything as of now. If you guys move anything, let me know down in the comment section below if you end up paying like a fraction of a cent or like $1 even, because I think $1 from like me paying $6 to $11 for a transaction would be like pretty great. And even with this, all of this happening, like the price of Ethereum right now, where are we at, is not that great. Just saying. I really am a little disappointed. But then again, this stuff happens really strange, right? Like even with the Bitcoin spot ETF, even when it was all 11 Bitcoin spot ETFs in the US were like approved January, like the beginning of January 2024. It's not like we saw a Bitcoin spike up until like March, right? So I'm hoping that this kind of like disappointing, in my opinion, Dencun upgrade with Ethereum maybe we'll just like hit later on. And when Ethereum does decide to move, which I think is a lot more people, a lot more whale decision than just regular retail investors and just based off the news, then people are going to look back and be like, oh, hindsight, haha, Dencun helped save a bunch of money. So anyways, right now right now Ethereum is at 3,976. So not even $4,000. It can't even keep up like and stay at $4,000. It didn't even reach 4,200 actually this year, right? Like this bull run. So I'm a little disappointed, but it's okay.
Fidelity Digital Assets also said that the update turns Ethereum into a more optimal database for storing data that is, quote, vital to the operations of other blockchains. All right, sticking with Ethereum's upgrade for our main story. Yesterday, I spoke with Tom Schmidt, general partner at the crypto venture capital and research firm Dragonfly, about what this update means for the network and the industry as a whole. He also weighs in on what's moving markets right now as Bitcoin has been surging to new all-time highs.
He explains it really well.
So another big week for Bitcoin. The cryptocurrency keeps hitting all new fresh highs. And I'm wondering, what do you think is behind the current rally? Do you think it's all the excitement surrounding the spot Bitcoin ETFs coupled with the upcoming Bitcoin halving, and how much of that is part of the equation?
Yeah, it's no surprise that the ETFs have really contributed pretty dramatically to Bitcoin's latest rise. Obviously,
he's the Tom Schmidt, general partner of Dragonfly. I don't really know about Dragonfly, but I think she's a capital venture.
Very concrete terms, there have been about $9 billion into these ETFs in the past, or since they've launched in January, which has been pretty impressive. But certainly a large part of it is also just an endorsement of Bitcoin as an asset and crypto as an asset category. It's sort of tacitly endorsing these assets and allowing people to purchase them from their brokerage accounts just the way they would purchase normal S&P and ETFs or things like that. The halving is always a popular topic. I think it's a little bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy where certainly, a reduction in issuance of Bitcoin does help the price by making it more scarce. But a large part of it is also just bringing it back into headlines, having it be top of mind. In practice, the ETF flows are substantially larger than any sort of increased issuance in Bitcoin from Bitcoin miners. So I think it's not more of a material change and more just a change in perception of the asset.
So do you anticipate this momentum will continue in the foreseeable future, or do you expect a steep correction in the mix?
Candidly, I've been surprised by how short-term bullish the ETFs have been for crypto and for Bitcoin. I think long-term, obviously, structurally, it makes it easier for capital to flow into Bitcoin, and the U.S. is the largest, most sophisticated capital market in the world. So it matters a lot more when the U.S. has access to ETFs, even though ETFs have been out for a while in Europe.
It's been out in Europe. It's been out in Canada, I believe, for a while. But anyways, for those of you guys that are or you know people that bought spot Bitcoin ETFs since like January, let me know in the chat or down in the comment section if you're coming into the stream and it's no longer live. Just curious, because I still feel like most people I know don't own it. I have a few friends who got into it, not too heavy, but let me know. Let me know if everybody you know and your neighbors are all of a sudden buying these Bitcoin spot ETFs. I get it. I feel like people who are older and like not as tech savvy, even me, like I'm old, but I'm not that old, but I'm not tech savvy. I feel like it's still kind of annoying to me. I will say that. I think it is kind of annoying to have to like handle your own cold wallet. It is annoying. I feel like once they make it super, super easy, like much, much easier for the masses, that's when people don't even need the spot Bitcoin ETFs anymore, right? Unless you just, I don't know, hate Bitcoin, and then you'll automatically be forced into it when it's just part of your 401k one day. So besides that, I think when it's easier, a lot more people are going to get it. Like when I say easier, I mean like as easy as me creating a username and then a password, right? A very, very strong password, but creating a username and a password, or maybe like, I don't know, face ID it, or I don't know, eyeball ID it. If someone can make something like that and then have me actually, I don't have to remember, let's say the key phrases. If I don't have to remember those 24, is it 24 C keys? Sorry, I'm confusing myself with 21 Bitcoins and 24. I'm going to go with 24. If I'm wrong, let me know. But 24 seed keys, let's say I don't have to remember those, but I just have to remember one password. And that password like embodies my 24 C keys, right? And then that it's on my phone, it's an app, and it's that easy for me to actually have custody of it. That's the moment when I think like everybody would actually get it. So yeah, let's see.
I think the most impressive thing so far has been that this Bitcoin rally has been in the face of a still pretty tight macro environment. I think originally people were expecting more rate cuts earlier this year. In 2022, there was this narrative that Bitcoin is just another risk asset. It's going to trade down along with the rest of all these other risk assets. And in fact, Bitcoin has really been outperforming. Small cap tech has still kind of been, lingering around its 2020, 2021 levels. But
okay, so another point on this, he's saying that before everybody thought that Bitcoin is just a risk on asset. So like obviously very risky, depends on like how much money's in the market, depends on what the Federal Reserve obviously would be doing with quantitative easing, which would benefit things like crypto at risk on asset. Quantitative tightening would be very bad for it. But besides what he's saying, also people like Kathy Wood is also saying the same thing, that actually she said, not him, but she said that Bitcoin is now more viewed. I don't know if it's just her point of view. You're going to have to do your DD on that. But she's saying that before it was just considered a risk on asset. And now it's kind of like a risk off asset, where people saw what happened with like regional banks and the failures of it, and how around, I think that same time, was it last year? I want to say it's 2023, when the regional banks really, really failed. And that's when Bitcoin like all of a sudden shot up from like 20,000 something to like 40,000. Again, do your own DD. That's what I heard recently from her. But I don't know if we can necessarily call Bitcoin just a risk on. It's like a little bit of both for me. So I'll make a little poll and ask you guys what you think, or let me know down in the comment section below what you think about this. But I think it has to be a little bit of both. Risk on ask, because let's say if tomorrow, I don't know, something crazy happened in the world and all of a sudden everybody freaks out like in 2020, everything sells off. I do not believe that Bitcoin is going to be able to stand above even $50,000, right? Like if you go back in time and we have something crazy happen for the first time. So it cannot be a second 2020, because we already know what happened. So people aren't going to be as scared, but it's like some other crazy thing that happens, right? Or World War III, World War IV. I don't know. I don't know what is happening right now. To me, the whole world is a mess. I mean, it's always been a mess. There's been wars going on before, you start listening to the news too much and hearing it even more.
But Bitcoin has rallied alongside the rest of sort of macro cap tech, and so and gold for that matter also reaching new time highs. And so Bitcoin is really finding its place in the world and finding its narrative, and that is, I think, increasingly attractive.
So another big story this week, Ethereum's next big upgrade. What do you think will happen to Ethereum's price, and how will this upgrade impact the industry as a whole?
Yeah, people are really excited for Dencun. I think a large part of Ethereum's story has been about smart contract scalability. How do we bring this technology to the next billion people?
I'll listen to this
And
part.
Ethereum's path to doing that has been through what we call layer twos, which you can think of as small mini blockchains that run alongside Ethereum, the main blockchain. These L2s host
L2s are small mini blockchains that run alongside Ethereum, the main blockchain. God, it's just so beautifully said. I don't know why. I've never heard anybody explain it like this before.
their state data, post their ledgers back to Ethereum to sort of borrow from its security, and they pay fees to Ethereum, the chain, in order to do so. Dencun makes it substantially cheaper for those L2s to pay fees back to Ethereum, which in turn makes users of these sort of mini blockchains pay much less fees and makes it much less makes it much more accessible. On the order of a fraction of
accessible and cheaper.
Send a stable coin or send USDC to someone on the other side of the world. And I think that is a large part of the crypto story is global, accessible financial services.
I want to turn to AI and crypto. According to Coinbase's report on it.
But I also want to add that, like, okay, Dencun upgrade is great and all, but it's similar arguments. It's like Bitcoin saying, okay, there's only 21 million Bitcoin. And then it's like Ethereum saying, oh, we're more accessible, we're cheaper now. At the end of the day, it's still about network, or I would call it fame. At the end of the day, I think it is the establishment of the fame of Bitcoin being the OG crypto, and everything else being an altcoin. And then Ethereum really establishing the fact that it's the original smart contract, right? And I mean, it used to be proof of work, now it's proof of stake. But either way, it's really the fame of the network. There's enough people holding it. There's enough people that know about it. And just the value that it's at right now is very, very hard to beat. So I think, like, we could say all we want about, okay, what's great about Bitcoin? What's great about Ethereum? Okay, Bitcoin is this 21 million. There'll never be more. And then you could say all these things that you want about Ethereum as well. But at the end of the day, like, anybody can really just come up with something with, like, let's say 21,000, right? Like, make like, I don't know, a chicken butterfly coin. And then there's only 21,000, which is less than there would be Bitcoins, right? But that's not really the strong argument. The strong argument, I feel like, at the end of the day is like, okay, who's more famous? Who's got the fame? Who's holds the fame, right? It's like who got started early. It's like, really, the way I look at it is, like, I guess more simplistic. Like, okay, can you beat out Mr. Beast as a YouTuber? Not really. I mean, you could try. There are people who I think, like, can have more. I forgot. I think somebody said before to me that there's like a kid, or was it PewDiePie? I don't know. But you could try to get at that level. But PewDiePie, I think, also started really early on, like, gaming. But you need to start earlier for a lot of things to get the fame. And it's just more rare for something to, like, break out to that extent and garner that much, like, attention. So I think that's the key part. And that's why I love Ethereum, even though I missed out on the Bitcoin train. But when I say miss out, I mean, like, for now, if we go into a bear market, which honestly, I hope for next crypto winter is terrible, so I can actually buy some Bitcoin too. But I will always, I think, hold some Ethereum or buy back.
AI and crypto from last week. Many AI-related crypto tokens have outperformed Bitcoin.
Oh, I forgot to do a poll with you guys. Hold on.
Q4 of last year. So what
Hi,
does
Jeff.
that signal
Hold
to
on.
you? I understand you have a bit of a contrarian view.
Let's pull.
I think we are a little bit more cautious.
Oh my God, I said
the
something
crypto
for
AI intersection than a lot of other funds. I think if you look at the rally in a lot of these AI tokens, most of it, I would say, is based more on narrative than on fundamental. A lot of it kind of started after the Sam Altman OpenAI board drama. There was this concern around the future of AI models and whether or not we want, a small number of large corporations to be running that.
I forgot what I was going to ask you guys. I'll just change my poll to something else.
Intermediaries. The so again, narrative, the idea that maybe there can be a decentralized model that can run in a decentralized way so that it can't be censored, it can't go down, it can't be subject to the whims of a small number of people. I think if you look on the ground from a fundamentals perspective, there's still very little usage and traction for most of these crypto AI networks, but things could change in the future. There's a lot of research going into this area, a lot of smart people working on novel products. So we are investigating, we're looking at the data, we're looking for interesting investment opportunities. But right now it feels, again, like a lot of narrative building is really what's driving it.
So in a nutshell, how do you think AI, the Dencun upgrade, and the upcoming Bitcoin halving, how do you think all three components will impact crypto moving forward?
I think, in aggregate, again, crypto has really been a surprising rally given where the state of macro is. If you look at a lot of the, again, smaller cap tech stocks that were outperforming in 2021, 2022, that have gotten killed as interest rates have risen, crypto is not like that. Crypto is finding its own footing in the sense that it can perform like a...
By the way, guys, follow me on X, please. Trying to get to 10,000 followers. It's very hard. I'm at 9,800 right now. I need 200 more.
And that continues to grow year over year. And so really
just living with Lucy.
Things are just real tailwinds of an endorsement of crypto as an asset category and the maturation of the technology to be able to serve billions of people.
Now, obviously, Dragonfly is a venture capital firm. So before I let you go, I'm curious, what are you paying attention to right now? Is it L2s, infrastructure, NFTs, CeFi, DeFi? What are you focused on right now? What are you thinking of investing in?
It's all of the above. I think for us, we are really a technology-driven venture fund at the end of the day. A lot of our best investments have been in smart contract scalability, so new layer 2s, new ways to move assets across bridges, even new blockchains that have really fundamental technical breakthroughs that allow these things to scale, again, to billions of users. We're also seeing a lot of excitement around consumer applications that use crypto in novel ways, things like international remittances or things like consumer banking apps that use stablecoins as a way to bring dollar-based savings accounts to places like Turkey or Argentina that have suffered from pretty incredible inflation. And so crypto is a little bit like the blind men feeling the elephant, where it really depends on where you're looking at it to sort of get.
Did you say crypto is like the blind man feeling the elephant?
We are investing across the board, and overall, we've seen really amazing entrepreneurs continue to enter this space and continue to build.
Okay, that's all for Crypto World today. We'll be back again tomorrow with more on the upgrade, and we'll see you then.
There's some other videos that I recommend you guys watching. Let me see if I can find it. I was listening to Peter Schiff last time, but it was Peter Schiff versus Da Vinci. And that one was good, but recently I watched another one that I think I like even more. Sure. Your wish is my command. Raw Food Writer. Hi. A shout out is very easy to me. I mean, it's free. You know what else is free? Smashing that like button, making sure you're subscribed. Thanks. Oh my God. Okay, sorry. I'm on YouTube and I'm seeing like my YouTube studio. The most random videos like gets me views. It's so strange. Like I feel like the videos I put more effort in and I have to like attach images to, or I put in stickers and I do this and that and I record like 80,000 times. Those don't get me the most views. It's always like the dumbest thing that I spend like no time on. Anyways, I love you, YouTube. What was I gonna say? Yes, I want to see which video I recommend you guys watching. Not my video, somebody else's video. Where is it? Yeah, there's this other, it's like a Peter Schiff and Raul, I think that's his name. But they made like a lot of good. As bullish as I am about crypto, I love lately simply because he's so bearish. He thinks like all the people who are invested in like, and I don't even want to know what he thinks about people who are invested in Dogecoin, but he pretty much thinks we are all just kind of building up something that is nothing. Like he still sees Bitcoin as absolutely nothing. And I think that view is still very interesting. Because do I believe, like, is there an ounce of me that believes maybe something terrible could happen? Like I'm talking 5 years from now, 10 years from now, or to the year 2144, whenever. I think around that time is when the last Bitcoin's supposed to come out or whatever. Do I believe that something really terrible could possibly happen? And maybe Bitcoin will be pretty worthless at that point. And when I say worthless, I mean, like, could it go down to like 3,000? I don't know. Anything could happen. And I think it is very dangerous for anybody who's invested in anything, including Apple stocks or Google, Alphabet, to think like, oh, I'm so sure. I'm so sure of myself. Because I think being that confident is a very, very dangerous thing for anyone to think like, oh, whatever it is that I'm buying, I'm so smart. And all these other rich, smart people are buying it. So then therefore, we couldn't go wrong. I think you don't have to be a bear like Peter Schiff, but whatever it is you are buying, you better be thinking of reasons how it could possibly fail, along with all your business plans and all investments. Like you have to back it up and think, okay, it's not working out, but whatever. You have to back it up and think maybe you're wrong. And I think if you don't think that, the joke will one day be upon you. So yeah, I was gonna pull it up, but I can't find the video right now. But look up Tom Billy I'm sorry. He's a really big YouTuber. He has like, I think 3 or 4 million subscribers, but I just kind of found him recently and started watching his videos. But basically, he does a really good debate between Peter Schiff and Raoul something, Raoul. And then again, it was kind of like a debate between the non-Bitcoin believer or Bitcoin hater, like Peter Schiff, who believes in gold, and versus Raoul, I forgot his last name, or maybe that's his first name. Raoul, who is pro BTC, like firm believer of Bitcoin, and he bought like apparently for 12 years or something like that is what he said. So he's been around for a while. And then their argument, and I would say they both make really good points, but no matter which side you're on, should definitely like give some credit or like at least take in the thought of another perspective. And then to build on that, as you can see in my title, what I really want to, I think, make the main theme of my video today is that I know there's obviously, like, even me, I started making more videos again, but if you are like myself watching a bunch of videos, finance gurus or YouTubers who talk about stocks or YouTubers who talk about crypto, it may seem like everybody is a genius right now because there's a lot of people who are like showing you their portfolios and they just made so much money. That's great and all for them. But just remember, especially the people who are making money now on a bull run. I'm sorry, but 2021, I'm not that smart. I'll tell you straight up. Like, do I think I'm an idiot? No. Do I do certain things that I question myself a lot of times? Yes. And I don't think I'm that smart. But do I have what is considered a large portfolio to some people? Yes. And that doesn't mean I know any better than somebody with a smaller portfolio than me. You could have like $5,000 in your trading portfolio and know a lot more about what you're doing and be doing your DD and doing your research, and you'd be better at reading charts, better at reading fundamentals than I ever will. So just remember that next time you're on YouTube and you see all these people like shilling their portfolios to you and being like, this is the next stock to make you a bunch of money, or buy this crypto because it's for sure going to moon. They don't really know what they're talking about. And remember, most YouTubers at the end of the day will still say not financial advice, right? They don't want to be responsible for your life savings going down the drain. So you are responsible for that. So I just want to point out again, and that's just like on the smaller scale, even multi-billionaires, right? If they're shilling you something or talking about a stock or a SPAC or whatever, it may not work out. It may not work out. So just remember that just because someone is much wealthier than you or has bigger portfolio or seems to have made it on a certain stock or crypto, it doesn't mean really anything. If they consistently can show you, you know, on a live stream that they're going from, I don't know, $500 to $50,000 and they can do it like 20 times, then maybe I'll believe that person. Okay, when I see that. So until that happens and you just see people like, okay, they bought it during crypto winter, and then now their crypto, their altcoins, their meme coins are like the moon and stuff. I don't know. That's not really convincing to me. Like I bought stuff blindly too. Like in December, I already had Doge on Mars, ticker symbol ELON, basically just because of the fact, like no fundamentals, guys. No fundamentals, no chart reading, no analytics of any sort. I literally bought ELON, aka Doge on Mars, because I'm like, LOL, it's funny. It's a ticker symbol ELON. So I like Elon Musk. Let's do it. Maybe somebody else is thinking the same thing. Literally off of that. And I bought it in December of 2023, which is not that long ago. And it's already more than 2x. So yeah, that doesn't make me a genius. There are a lot more people who could get 3x, 4x, or if you bought Solana, like with your eyes closed, like last year, you're also what, like more than 10x at this point. So just, yes, Raul Paul, thank you so much. Arsenio's way. I'm sorry. I listen to too many podcasts, so sometimes I can't memorize everybody or their names. So you should be thankful that I can memorize some of your names. I actually memorize more of you guys and your YouTube names and your pictures than like celebrities or like really rich people that I listen to a lot of podcasts for. So you're welcome. Smash the like button. Anyways, so yeah, just wanted to say that. And that also, I apply it to life, relationships, everything, business. Like sometimes you have to overlook the fact that somebody has a fancy degree and someone has a really nice job. It doesn't mean they're like EQ, high EQ, right? There's IQ and EQ. And then there's a lot of people who like graduated from, let's say, Yale or Harvard, but they have like absolutely no street smarts, or maybe they're like not good with directions, or they can't play a video game for their lives, right? Like people are just intelligent, I believe, in different things. And I think that even there's nobody that I've ever met in the world that's just terrible at everything. But then also there's no one I met in the world that's just amazing at everything. But I think a lot of rich people or people who have status, they like to make it seem like, okay, I'm good at one thing, or I have money, so therefore I'm good at everything. And that happens a lot, right? Like you see that. So definitely just be careful of, you know, I would like to diversify my portfolio more, just like I'm diversifying more of the different podcasts that I listen to. And you should diversify, I think, like the articles that you read, the sources that it's coming from, and that it's not all just like, let's say, from one person. Anyways, Jeff says, trading, Luci, I have been trading for years. Most people cannot do what? Okay, something's covering the words, but I'm assuming you said what I do. Never financial advice. Seems like you have lost the weight you wanted to lose. Aw, thank you, Island Vlog. No, I haven't. But I've been avoiding actually weighing myself because I just find that it works better for me that way. I think like if I'm too nitpicky on like, oh my God, how much do I weigh today? And like exactly how many calories did I consume? And then I wake up the next day and I keep weighing myself. I've gone down that rabbit hole since I was 17 years old. And no, it doesn't, it like works really badly for me and it's like really sick. So I realized that what works for me is just doing my best. I just wake up and I do my best every day. And I try to eat healthier. And just like in the back of my mind, I'm like, as you saw earlier, I was doing squats. Actually, I should be doing squats when I'm talking to you guys too. But I do bare minimum 100 squats a day, and I've been doing it since mid of February. So it's almost been like a whole month of me just doing squats. But I think, yeah, it's just really all in the mind of like me knowing that I'm doing this for myself, doing the squats, committing to it, and therefore I don't want to eat like a pig and, you know, binge eat, go to like 1,000 ace, like all you can eat places. So yeah, just kind of like watching myself and knowing that I'm trying to put effort into my health and diet or like better fitness. I think that's really helped me actually lose some. I'm trying to like make my face skinnier, because usually I think everybody loses weight in a different way, but for me, when I lose weight, it'll go off my face, off my stomach, and then lastly, the arms and the thighs. The thighs are very hard to get rid of, but everyone's different. I know some girls who like right when they lose weight, they like lose it off their thighs or their arms. That's not really me. But yeah, I want to eventually just trim fat and then get fit so then I can wear crop tops without worrying about my belly. I mean, you could still wear it, right? No fat shaming. Like you could wear whatever the heck you want. It's all about what you're comfortable with. For me, I'm more comfortable when all the clothes that I bought that are extra small and small can fit nicely. And not tightly when it's not supposed to be tight and it's supposed to be loose. So thank you though. I appreciate it. Last but not least, what was I going to say? Tesla. So it's actually really funny that okay, you guys know I like Elon Musk. I want to buy more Tesla stock. I've had Tesla stock just kind of on and off over the years, but I never actually held on for dear life because I never really felt like I got in at the best price, which is stupid because in 2020, or I think it was 2019, I did dabble in a little bit and that was a good price, right? So I should have held on to those, but I didn't. And so actually I've been kind of, I guess, mean to anybody who has it because I've been praying for it to just drop. I'm like, I don't want to buy it at 175. I wanted to go back down. I wanted to go down to like 110, $120. So today I've just been happy that it went down. I think to like 168 is the last I saw it after hours for Tesla, which is pretty bad because for a while there it was just like sticking at 175 and that was like, I guess, the support, and it broke. And so I was saying how I really want to get it if it's around 100. And that's just based off of nothing. Like I'm just basing it off of I think it's possible if like all the stars align and everything goes terrible for the economy. I do believe Tesla could go to $100. And that's not even that bad considering if you look at its recent all-time high after all the splits and stuff, it's like 400 something. So it'll be like a fourth of the price. I mean, it's bad if you hold on to Tesla, but it's not bad for anybody who wants to get in. So yeah, I'm actually really, really hoping for that. But then I watched like a Meet Kevin video, and his title for today actually is, I think he's shorting Tesla. So you could go and watch it. I didn't finish watching it, but then he was saying actually how he believes it could go to, judging by like his chart analytics, he believes that it could go down to like, because now it broke the support of like the 170s, it could go to 110, or like I think he said 101, but 110 something. So I thought it was funny that he said that, and I'm hoping that it's going that way. But again, if it doesn't and it just goes to 120, 130, I'll probably be selling some crypto that are in the green and then moving it there. So wish me luck. I do believe in Tesla, and it's not just because I know somebody on Twitter today said that they think I am buying Tesla, or I hope Tesla goes well and I'm bullish because I'm an Elon fangirl. No, I'm not a fan of anybody, and I don't like. I said, okay, no. I'm not a fan of anyone when it comes to me spending my money. I'll only spend my money if I want to make money. I'm not going to be. I'm a Taylor Swift fangirl too, but I am never paying $2,000 for a Taylor Swift ticket. I'm actually going to the Eras tour, but I did not pay even close to $500 for it. I was very lucky. But yeah, so I think when it comes to, and I think that should be the way to go with anybody. I don't think you should allow your love for celebrities or billionaires of any kind to get so deep in your mind that you are willing to not think for yourself on why you're investing in something, even if it's like celebrity merch, right? Like there's a lot of people who buy like a lot of celebrity merch, but then you also have to wonder, okay, what's more important, my rent or celebrity merch? Right? We have to know our priorities. But anyways, with Tesla, for me, why I so badly want to hold on to it is not because I view it as a Neo or Mercedes Benz or BMW or Rivian or Lucid or whatever. I don't view it as just a car company. I don't even view it as just an EV company, even though it's one of the leading EV companies. To me, at the end of the day, like this is a company owned by a dude who has access to all these other companies. I'm not saying that he's going to use the information to help the other companies or whatever, But let's just say he wants to, well, I mean, he is creating robots, by the way. So Optimus, do you see Mercedes-Benz doing that? No. Do you see like Neo doing that from China? No. So it's an AI company. It is actually, and this is by Kathy Wood's words, not mine. It is one of the leading AI companies. That's why it is kind of shocking that as EV, like generally EV as a sector right now is not doing that good. And I feel like that's also why Tesla's going down. But also sales, right? Like 2021 obviously was amazing for everybody. They were just buying stuff like crazy. And then now they've cut the prices down by so much, right? Like if you bought a Model 3 in like 2021, it's the price has gone down a lot now in 2024, which it is what it is. But at the end of the day, I don't look at Tesla as an investment as like, oh, I'm just buying like a company that's in cars or EV. To me, that's like, I believe Optimus or whatever robots that comes out of Tesla in the future are going to be the ones that I personally feel more safe having in a house if I can afford one. Right. And we talked about this. Like to me, they have so much data and like data is money. Data is money, period. Everything that we even type out on Reddit, it's data for Reddit. If you type stuff out on X, that's data for X. And you take that data and all the data that they have, like, Teslas have, I don't own a Tesla, but Teslas have cameras everywhere. They have Tesla camera inside the car, outside the car, right? Back of the car. So all those cameras, that's collecting data every single day, millions and millions and millions of literally robots out there just collecting all the data, collecting the data. And what do you think they'll do with that data? If I'm going to buy a robot, I want the robot to have seen so much data to reference to, right? When they see something happen. Like, what if my house is set on fire and then I want the robot to save me? I would prefer something that's seen more. And I believe that that is the way that Tesla is headed for. So, again, just my personal opinion, never financial advice. Do your own DD, entertainment purposes only. Thank you all so much for joining. Gonna peace out. And I love the fact that you guys do think the ETH ETF will be approved. Let's hope. Some say it's going to be as soon as May. I hope that happens. And hopefully it's going to be even quicker than Bitcoin spot ETF bounce that we saw based off of it, that people say it is. But it came at a funny time in between the halving and then kind of after the Bitcoin spot ETF. So I hope that if the ETH ETF gets even approved, that based off of that news, it can rise up. But let's hope that before that happens, it's already over $5,000. Thank you guys. Smash the like button and I will see you soon. Take care.